Wait, do you hear that? Do you hear that sound? That's the sound of the big red machine firing up again in Cincinnati. They dominated the 1970s and they are back. Let's check out this young roster. They are going to dominate the National League Central for a long time to come. Why? Because they have talent, they have pitching, they have power, they have young stars, they have everything. Let's check it out. Let's go. For those who don't know, the 1970s were dominated in the National League by the Cincinnati Reds in the Big Red Machine. And I think the Big Red Machine 2.0 is firing it back up. In the 70s, the Reds were led by Hall of Famers Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, and all-time hits leader Pete Rose. Not to mention Ken Griffey Sr., Tony Perez. They had all kinds of talent in that lineup. They've won 6 division titles, 4 NLCS, and 2 World Series, all the 1970s, while winning the most games of any team in Major League Baseball. And I think they are back in Cincinnati. This young core that's being developed by the Reds has young star after young star arriving in the major leagues. And at time of recording, they are on the cusp of the playoffs this year. The year when so many people picked them to finish dead last in the National League Central. They have so much talent. We need to look at this talent and see, are they the next Big Red Machine? So let's jump into this breakdown looking at their starting pitching. Any team that's going to dominate at the major league level needs starting pitching. And the Reds currently have 6 or 7 guys, 25 years of age or under, either in the major leagues or right on the cusp that I'm expecting a lot of big things from, and some have already started to produce at the major league level. Of course, any team needs an ace, and it seems to be the Reds are betting on Hunter Greene to be that ace. The starter that consistently throws in the upper 90s, lower hundreds over and over again. Hunter Greene has a big-time arm, a big slider, and a changeup that's still being figured out. And I think that's the big step here for Hunter Greene. He needs to figure out that third pitch. He has a decent feel for the changeup, but when he finds that, he is going to be incredible. When you look at his numbers across the levels, in Double and Triple A in 2021, putting up a 3.30 ERA, the big thing there, 139 strikeouts in 106 innings. At the major league level in 2022, forget the win and the losses. The 4.44 ERA, 164 strikeouts, that's impressive. Already 97 strikeouts this year in 67 innings. He still is getting barreled up too much because he doesn't have a feel for those secondary pitches. His slider is improving. The changeup is improving. But once they get to that level, and I think that will come in the next year or two, Hunter Greene is going to be an ace in the major leagues. The next guy is Nick Lodolo. And when you look at Lodolo, he dominated the minor leagues. He pitched very well last year at the major league level for the Reds, a 3.66 ERA. He's more known for the breaking stuff. He's got a good fastball, a good sinking fastball, a big hooking curveball, almost along the lines of the sweeper that's so popular now. He's got dinged up this year. He didn't pitch as well at the start of this year. He had some very good starts and some very bad starts. That's why the 6.29 ERA comes in. But when you look at the walk ratio, it fell again at the major league level. Expect that again next year when he's healthy. The strikeout ratio went up as well. So I expect a lot of big things from Nick Lodolo in the next coming years as he gets healthy. The number 3 guy on this list is Graham Ashcraft. Ashcraft pitched very well in the minor leagues as well, very similar to Lodolo. He still hasn't quite found it at the major league level, though he's put together some really good starts. He's not a big strikeout guy, much more a pitch to contact guy, so he needs to avoid the barrels and reduce his walk rate. Last year, his walk rate was much better. Down this year, some injury issues like Lodolo, but he's still finding his way at the major league level, and oftentimes it takes starters 2 or 3 years to really figure it out. I think Lodolo and Ashcraft are going to be just fine. They just have to figure it out at the major league level. The guy with all the buzz this year is Andrew Abbott. Abbott, at time of recording, is 2-0. He actually just last night went to 3-0. He still has not given up an earned run in the major leagues. Look at the AA and AAA levels. He's moved very quickly this year. A 2.50 ERA in the minors, hasn't lost a game. Very much a quality pitcher in terms of limiting walks. His walk rate has gone up in the majors, but expect that to come back down as you can see at the minor league level. 2.8 walks per 9 in the minors. It's up to 5.4 in the majors. I fully expect that to come down. I fully expect the strikeout rates to go up as well. And that's going to really settle in for Andrew Abbott. And given that he hasn't given up any earned runs with those numbers in the majors already, shows you he is a quality talent who is going to be around for a long time. So there is already 4 guys hitting in that major league level that have shown the stuff to compete at the major league level. The Reds are very much set up with those 4 guys, and yet they still have more. The other guy who is still in the lower minors at high A ball is Chase Petty. I'm really big on Chase Petty. They got him from the Twins last year. 0-1, but a 1.50 ERA in 6 games at high A ball this year. He's only 20 years old. What I like about Petty is he has a big time arm. His strikeout rates are only going to go up. His walk rates have gone down. Now, what I could see Petty happening here, as he gets closer to the major league level, because he's younger than these guys, he may be an explosive arm in the bullpen, a multi-inning guy, as the Reds improve the next 1 or 2 years. And if that's the case, he could find himself in the bullpen and excelling there. He has that kind of stuff, but he also has the stuff to be a long-time major league starter. He might be more towards the next wave of guys coming for the Reds, but I think you have to include him here because of the talent, because of the arm quality. He may be an effective guy in about 2 years when the Reds are really hitting their peak. The final starter I've got on the list is Brandon Williamson. Williamson's pitching pretty well in the majors currently. The thing about him is his numbers haven't really translated from the minor league level. In the minors, he didn't pitch very well. He's kind of learning on the job how to be a quality starter at the major league level because of the injuries to Lodolo and Ashcraft. He's kind of been forced in this position, but he's performed pretty well. The walk rate needs to continue to come down. It's better than it was in the minor league, so that's very impressive. The strikeout rate needs to go up. That hasn't translated for the minor leagues, but it will as he learns how to pitch at this level. And he's currently acting as a number 5 starter. He basically is already in that type of role and learning on the job. He could very well develop at the major league level as a 2 or 3 type of talent. He's got the arm quality, but it's very interesting to see that Williamson's already learning on the job. And when you combine Green, Ashcraft, Lodolo, Williamson, and Abbott, you have the makings of a 5-man rotation, all 25 years or younger right now, all going to be hitting their peak in the next 2 years. They are going to be a tremendous starting rotation, and there's no real wiggle room for other guys to fit in there unless injuries creep up. And yes, there'll be guys that flame out. Yes, there'll be injuries, but the Reds have the making of a dominant starting pitching, and their bullpen might get even better. When you take a look at their bullpen, they already have one of the most dynamic closers in Major League Baseball in Alexis Diaz. And you look at his numbers, he's only 26 years old. Last year, a 1.84 ERA. This year, a 1.61 ERA. The whip is down below 1. The strikeout rates are through the roof. The walk rates are continuing to fall. Provide the Reds don't make a mistake here and trade Alexis Diaz at this trade deadline, I think this is a guy they need to keep. He's been dynamic for 2 straight years. I would expect that to continue. And Alexis Diaz may be the guy in the back of the bullpen in a year or 2 when the Reds are really hitting their stride. Can you imagine a 5-deep rotation with these guys and Alexis Diaz at the back? Oh, let's throw another guy in there. How about starting pitcher Connor Phillips? Look at these numbers Connor Phillips is putting up at AA, a 3.57 ERA. Last year, a 3.78 ERA. Why am I including him as a reliever? Look at his strikeout numbers. 13.1, 12.3, and 15.7 in terms of the strikeouts per 9 innings. Those are massive numbers. Those are quality reliever type numbers. And the walk rate is falling, but still isn't to that level you'd expect from a starting pitcher. But Connor Phillips throws gas. He's got a big time hook. He is a perfect guy to move into the bullpen. You combine him with Alexis Diaz. You combine him with these 5 starters. And oh boy, do you have the makings of a legitimate pitching rotation. And we haven't even talked offense. Let's talk offense. Look at these guys. They've already got 2 guys with 3 years of experience in Tyler Stevenson and Rookie of the Year, Jonathan India. You look at Stevenson's numbers. He's been very, very good this first 2 years in the major leagues. He's having a down year this year at 80 OPS plus, but he is a quality baseball player, a quality hitter. His hitting is what got him to the major leagues. The question is where he's going to play. Because of the concussion issues in the past, he maybe moved away from catcher and more into a DH. I think it'd actually be more beneficial to the Reds if they could figure out a way to keep him healthy as a catcher. He would actually help this team more long term as a catcher than he would as a DH and keeping that spot open. At second base, Jonathan India has responded with a good year after a down year last year after winning the Rookie of the Year award from a 116 OPS plus down to a 92, but back up to a 111. He's figuring it out at the major league level. He's dropped his strikeouts. The batting average is coming back up. The on-base percentage has been steadier. He is a dynamic player. Strikeouts are kind of coming down a little bit as well. So Jonathan India is a very good player at second base, and he's a very good depth type player. He doesn't have to be the star in Cincinnati with this team because they've got other stars that are developing around him. And if he doesn't have to be the guy, he's going to be very, very good. Decent contact hitter. I could see him fitting in as maybe a number 2 hitter in this team, or maybe hitting further down the lineup as a 6 or 7. He's got some defense. He's got some speed. Jonathan India is a very good glue guy up the middle for this Reds developing team. As much fun as the pitching is with this team, it's built around offense. And how about some of the young talent that's already developing in the major leagues for the Reds? First baseman Spencer Steer is up for a first look at. Take a look at his minor league numbers: an 833, 879 OPS. Last year, got a little taste of the majors, a 632 OPS, but this year is breaking out in a big way at 831 OPS, 9 home runs, 37 RBIs. Strikeouts are a little bit of a concern, but the walk rate is still pretty good. Spencer Steer is developing at the major league level as a first baseman. We maybe will see him maybe at third base, but I think he probably sticks long term at first base with some games at DH. He has been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball as a rookie, and this has to be very, very exciting. He's a middle of the order power type bat. He could maybe be a 2, 3, 4, 5 type guy. He is a tremendous talent, a big acquisition from the Reds. I'm very excited to see where his career goes. Next up is the guy who hasn't quite hit the major league level yet, Christian Encarnacion Strand. The thing with Encarnacion Strand is CES is kind of a first base, third base type as well, so it's going to be hard to play out between him and Steer. There might be room in the outfield for one of them as a left fielder or right fielder down the line, because that's an area where the Reds could use a little bit of depth. When you take a look at his minor league numbers, because he hasn't quite hit the major league level yet, it is absolutely incredible. 1022 OPS, a 955, and a 1145. He is absolutely destroying the baseball every single year at the minors. The fact he's not in Cincinnati yet is absolutely shocking. There is power there. 17 home runs already this year, 32 last year. 114 RBIs last year in the minor leagues is absolutely incredible. Yes, he strikes out maybe a little too much. He doesn't walk as much as you'd like, but that's what you expect from power bats, especially at the major leagues. As he figures this thing out at the major league level, oh boy, this guy can absolutely rake, and you can expect big things from him in Cincinnati. How about the guy they've all been talking about across the minor leagues and now at the major leagues, Elly De La Cruz? Power, speed, arm. This guy is an absolute freak of nature. 6'5", 200 plus pounds. You look at the minor league numbers and even the major league numbers in a short sample size. 874, 945, and 1031 this year in the minor leagues. First taste in the major leagues, already a 762 OPS. 12 home runs, 36 RBIs at the minor league level. Last year, 28 and 86. 47 steals as well. This guy is absolutely incredible. Power, speed, everything, you name it. He absolutely destroys the baseball. I mean, the poor ball's got a family, right? It's absolutely incredible. Elly De Cruz may be one of the blossoming stars across major leagues. Now, one of the issues with this game is he does strike out too much, but he is going to figure that out as he gets used to his frame and size at the major league level, but he impacts the game on so many different levels. He's just getting into the majors. He has so many years of potential to grow into this. 6 years of control for the Reds, combined with Encarnacion Strand, combined with Steer, combined with these other guys, and they have the makings of a scary, scary good lineup, and we haven't even talked about the next few. Every great team needs a glue guy up the middle at shortstop, and this Reds team has developed one of those as well. How about shortstop Matt McLain? also can mash, also can play tremendous defense. He doesn't strike out as much. He does all the things right on the baseball field. He's going to be one of these unheralded guys in this lineup. But again, another star young player. The Reds are full of these. It's scary how good this is going to be. You take a look at McLean's numbers in the minors: 851, 816, 1184 OPS. This year in the majors, already an 895 OPS, small sample. 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. In the minors, 12 and 40. He steals some bases, a high of 27 in the minors. He hits for average. He hits for power. He doesn't strike out as much as these other guys. His walk rate is a little bit better. Matt McLain does a little bit of everything. 5-tool type of guy. I don't know what to do with this type of lineup. Matt McLain added in is just incredible. You go around the infield, you could have Tyler Stevenson catching, Spencer Steer at first, Jonathan Innie at second, Matt McLain at short, Ellie De La Cruz at third, and at DH, Christian Encarnacion Strand. This team is loaded. And you take a look at the outfield. They've got an outfielder too. How about TJ Friedl? You take a look at his minor league numbers: 779, 781, 840, 750 last year as a first taste at the major league level, an 861 OPS this season at the major league level. His strikeouts have come down. His walk rates have been very impressive all the way along. He will steal you a few bases. He will get you some home runs. Not a huge power guy, more of a speed guy, contact type of guy. Good batting average, up around the 280s, always in the minor leagues. He's hitting 321 this year at the major league level. This is scary when you throw him potentially at the top of a lineup, an on-base type of machine for the big power hitting guys behind him. Really, all I need is a couple of outfielders to balance off this Reds team. Oh, wait, they've got one of those too. Sort of. How about Noelvi Marte? Marte is still at the AA level, but his minor league numbers: 825, 829, 850 OPS. Why am I including him there? He's a shortstop third base type. I don't think the Reds are going to need that. I think they should start to transition Noelvi Marte into a left or right fielder. He has the speed to do it. Let's let him learn at the minor league level for a year, maybe 2. And when he comes up and fits in this lineup, there's no weaknesses. They've got 5 starting pitchers, 2 bullpen guys, and an all-around balance all around the field. This could be a scary, scary team. And all of them are 23, 24, 25, maybe as old as 27 years old. When they hit their prime, they are going to dominate. And you're going to say, well, how can the Reds pay for all this? They don't have to. A lot of these guys are going to be in arbitration and pre-arbitration contracts at the same time. They've already locked up Hunter Green long term. He's the only guy they're really, really paying. And the Joey Votto contract comes off the books this year. This could be a dynamic team for years to come, depending on who they want to invest in. Yes, it's possible some of these guys are going to fizzle out, but they've got another wave after wave coming with this. The big red machine is here, and NL Central teams need to look out. This may be the dominant team in the National League for the next 5 to 7 years. There's so much talent here. I don't know how you're going to win, and I don't know how this fails. The Reds have set themselves up for so much success. This is the team of the National League for the next 5 years. Time to buckle in and watch where the big red machine 2.0 ends up. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. I appreciate all the support here on 3 Up, 3 Down. If you like this kind of video, make sure you hit that like button as we try to defeat the YouTube algorithm. Comment down below what you think is going to happen with this Reds team in the future. You know I'm high on them. As well, go check out some of my previous videos. We're going to be talking expansion again very soon on this channel, and it was a hit on this channel last time, so make sure you go check out that video. Go check out my contracts video. Go check out the YouTube shorts, and go back and look at some of my old videos. For those of you who are new in the channel, go check out some videos I did in contracts early on, and one of my very, very first videos, the ups and downs of the MLB offseason. When I first started my channel, I gave the big time up to the Cincinnati Reds. Make sure you go back and check out that video. Until next time, take care, everyone.